Hi, welcome. Hi. This is always awkward. This is going to be fun. Hi, I'm Toni, and for the past 3 years, I've been creating short form educational content, mostly over on TikTok. Short form content that sits at the intersection of sports, mostly Formula One, but also tech and politics and the internet culture. And F1 is essentially my excuse to talk about the topics that I really care about: societal changes, shifting media landscapes, emerging technology, geopolitics. I basically talk about the moments, both big and small, that happen at the intersection of all of these things. I look at how they impact all the different industries around us, but also how they impact our day-to-day lives. So I studied politics, international relations, and diplomacy for about 7 years. I then went and worked into the European institutions, and I worked in policy, and then landed kind of in tech, and now I'm here. And for the last 3 years, I've basically been telling stories on the internet, stories about technology, sports, Formula One, many stories about Formula One, but also the internet culture and media. I also co-host the Tech Trends podcast called Another Podcast with tech analyst Benedict Evans, and I'm also a regular guest on ESPN where I do Formula One commentary.
I'd like to welcome in Toni Cowan-Brown now, our F1 journalist.
And that's essentially me in a nutshell. There isn't just one thing that interests me. There are many things that interest me, and what I find even more fascinating is when all of these worlds collide, because I think it is foolish for us today to try and look at just the tech sector or the political sector or the sports sector without understanding all the other sectors and how they interact with each other. And now I want YouTube to be my home, where I dive into the topics that are interesting and important to me. I want to discuss and talk about topics such as: how has the sports media landscape changed in recent years? Why are politics and sports tied at the hip, and have they always been this way? Can Formula One survive without Saudi money? And if EV is the future, then what happens to Formula One, and is Formula E the answer? Why is the cryptocurrency gambling site Stake and/or Kick sponsoring a Formula One team, and what does this mean? How has TikTok changed the way that we consume sports today? And how has the creator economy change the Formula One scene for better? So the idea here is to take some of the most recurring and interesting topics that I've been talking about on TikTok, but just for 30 or 60 seconds, and to dive a little deeper into those topics. But I'm always going to keep them succinct whilst trying to be as broad as possible and ensure that I give as much context around the topic. As a warning, I overthink things. I go on deep tangents because I believe there's always so much more context to add. I also generally believe that things are way more complicated than we might think, but I'm also a big believer that sometimes there's a very simple explanation. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm also nervous and I don't know what to expect. I am very used to just picking up my phone and talking directly to the camera for these short 30, 60, 90-second videos over on TikTok, or I'm used to speaking live on TV to thousands of people, or talking to a small group of execs in a boardroom. But this space here is so much out of my comfort zone. But I honestly can't wait to make every video better than the last and to take you all with me on this journey. With all my projects, the aim is really clear. I want to build platforms that force us and help us to have dialogues and conversations about the things that truly matter. And I really do utilize Formula One for my entry point to talk about tech, politics, media, and anything in between. I recently realized I spend a lot of time with Gen Z, breaking down the boardroom conversations, and vice versa. I spend a lot of time with execs, helping them understand the internet culture. And so I think these videos are for both of those worlds. They're both for Gen Z, and they're both for the tech execs of the world. And this is very much what my channel will be about and who my videos are for. So again, thank you for being here, and I'm excited to kickstart this journey.